Welcome to another 806 driver B&B Trucking maintenance breakdown. Today, I took apart a wheel end on a tanker we got. It needed some brakes, so basically all I was doing is doing a brake job on that one. We did a brake job on the whole axle, but I demonstrated one side. So this video is just going to be a quick demonstration of how to change out brake shoes. How I do it anyway. Everybody's got their own little method of doing it, but just kind of give you an idea of what it's like. I took it all apart and put it back together. Basically what I did. What I was trying to think of there is I didn't do any talking during the video, as I was working with somebody else and I didn't want to disturb them while I was working with them. I tried to do these videos. I would do more, but a lot of times we're in here working together and I don't want to bother the other guys with me making a video while we're working on something or whatever. So I'm gonna kind of go back through and I'll edit the video and kind of narrate what's going on as I'm going through it. So just leave us a like, subscribe, comment, leave us a comment below. If you have any questions, any maintenance questions, any trucking questions, hit me up. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. We're active on all those social media websites now. So just listen to what's going on, what's on your mind. Spread the word to your friends. We're up to about 35, 36 subscribers now, which in the world of YouTube ain't very many, but we're working our way up. Need to get up to that 100. That way I can get my own URL, my own link, so I can put that in some videos. Try to get up to 1,000. That way we can go live. But appreciate it. Thanks for watching. For B&B Trucking, 806 driver. Enjoy the video, and we're out. All right. I'll start by removing the wheels. There you go. Once you got the wheels off, always supply some air to the trailer. That way you can back off your brakes easy and adjust your brakes easy. Always use shop air. Really, you should have a fitting to hook to the supply side of the trailer that has a valve on it and a gauge, but our shop air only builds to about 110 pounds, so it's all right. But if you got something that builds up to 150 pounds or so, whatever, you need to have a regulator and gauge and valve. Once you got the air hooked up, let it fill up, and you can go back and you can back off your brakes so you can remove your drum. Which is what we're doing here. We're going to back off the brakes. On this type of S cam, you'll turn it counterclockwise. You can hear the ratcheting sound of the brakes being backed off. Back them off. I try to back them all the way off. You can hear it ratcheting there, showing that you're backing off. I back them off until the S cam totally bottoms out. Or I try to. You can't really see it, but you can kind of feel it when it is bottomed up. Sometimes the drum will stick. Just take a hammer, hit around the drum till you see it move. You can grab a hold of it. Drums weigh about 125 pounds, so be careful while you're lifting them. They do make drum handlers. If you do not want to handle them, pick them up physically. Once you get the drum off, set it down, inspect it. Make sure there's no cracks, no large heat cracks, no glazing. We're gonna feel around in there, make sure there's no warping. Right there at the edge, you want to make sure the edge that there's plenty of drum left. You can usually feel a lip on a real bad wore out drum. If you want to get real technical about it, there's a number on the drum, as you can see right here. It says 16.62 inches, so you could run a run out gauge across the inside of the drum to each side and measure it. If it's over that 16.62 inches, it needs to be replaced. I usually just go by feel on the lip though. Right here, we're going to back the S-cam back off a little more to the roller seat in the little channels there. You can see it backing off right there. Once they seat, the shoes will be as close together as you can possibly get them, making it easier to take them off and to install the new ones. After that, you're going to remove your brake springs. You got 2 of them on this side, on the pin side, that hold the 2 shoes together. Use a spring brake tool right here. It's got a little deal you can get underneath the spring and pull them off real easy. Do the front one, and then there's one on the back, same way. Then get ready to remove your shoes. Just grab the top one. Guess I had to readjust the camera here. But move the light. All right, you're gonna grab the top shoe, pull up toward you, and just pull it around and off to the side, and both shoes will fall off. That easy. Once you got the shoes off, you're gonna knock out your pins that the shoes sit on. Sometimes these pins are seized up. You don't want to heat anything on the spider or whatever. You could cause it to warp. As you see on this one, both pins are knocked out with ease. Just when you go to install the new pins, always make sure you use never seize or anti-seize to keep it from locking up. After you get them pins out, you want to inspect everything. Check your S-cam free play. If you have too much free play there, you want to put new bushings in. That one was okay. You can check your ABS tone ring, your ABS sensor, and check your wheel seal for any leaks. Right here you can see your ABS sensor, toe ring, and the seal is all around there. But after you get everything looks good, clean everything up. I like to use a drill with a wire wheel, where it's really good to kind of clean everything up. If it's real bad, you can use some brake cleaner to help get it cleaner, or some emery cloth. But usually the drill with the wire wheel works really well. Kind of rotate the hub around to get the whole tone ring, get to rotate around with it. That way you're not having to go underneath or whatever. You can stand up and hit it all from up top. Look right here, I'm going to pull out the ABS sensor here from its housing. Once you get the ABS sensor pulled out, just kind of wiggle it, it'll pull out. Once you get it out, you can use the wire wheel to clean the end of it up good, get all the old brake dust and grease off of it, oil. Put it back in this housing, bump it up to the tone ring, and just pull it out about a 16th of an inch. That way the ABS will still read. The sensor will still read. All right. After you got it cleaned, just kind of look it all over. Make sure there's no leaks. Once you got all the gunk off, everything looked pretty good on this wheel end. After that, you're gonna get your new set of brake shoes, a kit. This is a 4707 Q Plus kit. I'll make a video one of these days showing the difference between Qs and Q pluses. First thing you're going to do is get all your accessories for the shoes. You'll have your I think what we pull out here first is the keepers that go on the rollers to help roll the rollers in place. And you got your rollers. Then you will have your pins. And you will have your springs, your return tension spring, and your tension spring holders. You'll have to take a hammer here, and I should have used a bigger hammer to start out with instead of that little bitty hammer, but you're going to knock your tension spring holders into place on the shoe. And of course, when you're making a video, it takes 5 or 6 times to get them in there. When you don't make a video, you hit them on the first try, right? Yep, that's the way it normally goes. There we go, that one's in place. Check it, make sure it's secure. Then grab the other shoe and repeat the process. All right, that one's in place. Now you want to spray some Never Sees in the pin holders on the spider. You want to use the Anti-Seize or Never Sees and install the new pins. Once you put the new pins in, twist them. Which I did not do there. You want to twist them and turn them to make sure they're coated good with the Anti-Seize. And you're going to install your top brake shoe. After you install the top brake shoe, you want to put the 2 springs on the top brake shoe and the holes that they mount in, that the springs mount in. Then grab your bottom brake shoe, and you want to attach the springs to the bottom brake shoe and install the shoe onto the pins. And just fold the shoe under into place. It should go right into position, and the springs will kind of help hold it there. Next, you're going to rotate around and go to the opposite side, and you're going to install your tension spring to the spring pins in which you hammered in earlier. You're going to lift the top shoe, hook it onto the top tension spring holder, and then you'll have to use a special tool here to reach in between the S-cam and grab the spring and press and pull down on it to attach it to the bottom shoe. I had a little trouble here. I was trying to stay out of the way of the camera so everybody could see here, and I had a hard time. Usually, and the floor was wet. This trailer, if you notice in the video, we brought this trailer in. It was snowing and icy outside, and of course, you pull the trailer in the shop, everything starts melting off of it, so it looks like it's raining in our shop. But most of the time, I can sit down right behind the shoe on the floor, and you get a little better leverage to attach the spring to the bottom tensioner, which is what I'm about to do here. Once you pry down on the spring, you can grab that retainer pin and kind of spin it to get it to catch the hook on the spring. Right there, we got it. And then pull your tool back out and just check it to make sure it's secure. Now you're going to install your keepers on the rollers. These kind of help hold the roller in place on the brake shoe once you put them out. Once you attach them to the brake shoe, between the brake shoe and the S-cam, you have a roller for the top shoe and a roller for the bottom shoe. Always install the top roller first. It's easier to pry down than it is to pry up, so do the top one so you're prying up first, and then when you go to because it's always harder to install the second roller because you have more tension on the tension springs. Right here it's pretty easy just to slide the roller in, and then push your retainer up into the shoe until it falls into place in those little holes right above the roller. And usually I use my spring tool. It's got a blunt end on it. I can push that spring up in there. I'll push as far as I can with my hand, and right here, grab the tool and push the spring on up, the retainer back on up in there. There you go, right there. Now the bottom one, like I said, it's harder to pry down, or it's easier to pry down than up. So watch your fingers here, because man, if it slips and it catches your finger, there's a lot of pressure between that spring and the shoes. That tension spring has a lot of pressure on it. I had a little trouble with the retainer here, getting it to lock into place. Sometimes you have to kind of move the shoe around a little bit to get everything to free up to where that retainer will slide freely, but they'll go. If you mess up a retainer, you want to replace it with another retainer. You don't want to put a damaged one in there. You want to make sure it's all locked in, and then once you get all your rollers in, you want to grab a hold of your shoes, your foundation, and just make sure everything is secure and tight. Now you're ready to install the brake drum back on. Pick up the drum, put it on, line up your lug holes, and push it on. Again, they make a tool. It's kind of like a dolly type deal you can use to help put a drum on. Drums weigh about 125 pounds. Want to never seize your lug nuts right now. If you use never seize on your lug nuts, we like to use it here. It just helps getting the lug nuts off and on. You're gonna never seize your lug studs, excuse me, not your nuts, not the nuts, the stud. Once you got those never seize, you're ready to install the wheels. So just everything goes back in reverse order. Always remember when you're installing dual wheels that you put your valve stems 180 degrees out from one another, especially if you got steel wheels and you only got 2 holes to work with. A lot of times if you don't put your valve stems 180 out, they'll be together, and it's hard to put air or to check air in them when they're right there together. Plus they can hit on each other, and with the flex of the wheels they can damage one another. Always make sure your mounting surfaces on your wheels are good and clean. You don't have no trash in between them to keep them from seating up together. Like I said, right there, ensure that your valve stems are 180 degrees out from one another. Right here, we're just lining up to make sure our valve stem is 180 out. Kind of had some poor camera position here. I think I'll move it. Yeah, we move it right here. It's still hard to see the valve stem, but you can see one on top, and one, and the inside rim is on the bottom. The outside rim is right there on top. Once you got the wheels on, time to install the lug nuts. I always turn my lug nuts 3 full turns, getting them started. That way I make sure they caught the threads good and everything before you put the gun on them. That way you don't run the risk of cross-threading or stripping a stud or a nut. I always tighten your lug nuts in a crisscross pattern. While we're sitting here tightening these up, I thank everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for supporting the channel. 806 Driver, B&B Trucking. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, as well as YouTube. We'll try to keep the good content coming. Hope this video was educational. know I kind of ran through this a little fast, but you can get the gist of it. This is just more of a info video than a actual technical video. After you get the lug nuts all tight, we're going to if you have lug nut covers, which we do on most of our trailers to help keep dirt and everything from getting on the lugs, reinstall them. Then you're ready to readjust your brakes. When you adjust your brakes, I left the volume up here where you can hear. You're going to tighten your slack adjuster all the way down to the right, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on these type of slack adjusters till the brakes make full contact with the brake shoes make full contact with the brake drum. Once you do, you're there. Back it off a quarter turn. Back it off until you hear the ratcheting start. Right there. Now you're going to go a quarter turn. Right there. And your brakes will be set. Again, that's it. All you got to do from there is lower your jack stand and be ready to go. Thanks for watching. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. For 806 driver, B&B Trucking, we're out.